Time now for the Educated Retirement Show with your host, Jay Kaplan. Jay discusses reverse mortgages and can answer your questions at 951-922-3532. Call lines are open at 951-922-3532. And now here's Jay.
Yeah, here is Jay. And all lines are open most of the time. I don't know how they are on too many other people's show. I know Grandpa tomorrow morning has one caller every time, same time, every Saturday. So I'm sure he plans around that. But anyway, go ahead and start, Kathleen. We're going to try to listen to a little bit of Billie Holiday in the background as per Grandpa's request. If it doesn't work, so be it. Go and get the album. So are you starting there? Okay, and you're over where you can see me. You're over where you can see me, right? You know. Oh, that sounds pretty good. Right, without overwhelming anything. Kathleen, are you over there? I don't see you.
Yes.
Yeah, just keep it the way it is for a minute or two. Anyway, that's in the background. Billie Holiday, and as a part of Appreciation Month, we're here saying happy birthday to Billie Holiday, who is American jazz and swing music singer. Her vocal style, strongly inspired by jazz instrumentalist, pioneered a new way of manipulating phrasing and tempo, besides having a great voice. Billie skipped lots of school, brought before juvenile court, and sent to reform school. Once paroled, her mother opened a restaurant. Both her and her mother worked long hours, and Billie dropped out of school at age 11. And after a turbulent childhood, Holiday began singing in nightclubs in Harlem. She teamed with a neighbor saxophone player, who I'd like to know who that was, but they performed together when Benny Goodman heard her. Billie's singing reputation grew as she made her recording debut at age 18 with Goodman. She was also accompanied by with her friend, saxophone Lester Young. I'd like to know whether Lester was that neighbor, but I don't think so. Over the years, she worked with big bands like Count Basie, and at one time she found herself in direct competition with singer Ella Fitzgerald. Later, they became good friends. Now, Ella is also a great singer and had a much longer career, but I gotta admit, Billie Holiday is probably my favorite singer from those periods. And when working with clarinetist and composer Artie Shaw, she became the first black female singer with a white orchestra, as she was employed full-time touring the segregated South with the white band leader. And she was always ready to pick up, and he was, Shaw, was always ready to stick up for her. In the late 40s, she was arrested for possession of narcotics, and after several years of drug and alcohol use, she had trouble continuing her performances as her health was declining, and she died, it says, nearly broke at 44, but none of us here that enjoy her music are broke, because she's got creates such a rich enjoyment for us. So Holiday still rose above poverty, bigotry, and imprisonment to become one of the most memorable artists of the 20th century. She won posthumously, after she died, unfortunately, but at least 4 Grammy Awards for Best Historical Album. She was induced into the Grammy Hall of Fame and the National Rhythm and Blues Hall of Fame, and into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So let's just listen to a... Boy, I hope you can hear that. So, anyway, go ahead and don't take the needle off the record. Just lower it down to 0 and let it play till the inner grooves, and then we can lift the needle. So I hope you can hear it. I hope you can enjoy it. And she is quite a bit different in her voicing than our next birthday, which is Walter Winchell, that was also born yesterday in 1897, and he flew off in 1972. So let me show you a couple of pictures. So this is during that session that we were just listening to. I guess I should have showed them then, but I was too enthralled in listening. Like I said, it's on YouTube all over the place, and I think it's just an amazing performance. And look at the people that are on that with her. So you can look it up right there. And then one more record I have, and again, this is a reissue of Lady in Satin with Ray Ellis and his orchestra. And there you go. And there was a movie about Billie Holiday's life not too long ago, I believe.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah, so maybe I'll remember that next time. But Walter Winchell was a syndicated American newspaper gossip columnist and radio news commentator. Originally a vaudeville performer, believe it or not. Yeah, that's... So Winchell began his newspaper career as a Broadway reporter and columnist for New York tabloids. There he is, a little bit older, with the hat. Very recognizable. I think we talked about him once before, and we had that Morse code in the background, which was always like a signature for him. And here he is on our station, ABC. So maybe I can get him to appear as a guest. No, I don't think so. He's long gone, but maybe we'll both have microphones in the afterlife. We'll see. I'll let you know. And what is this? Oh, kind of small, but interesting. An interesting picture. Got another one? We got another one bigger. Oh, we got two more, huh? Okay. There's another one of him yapping away. And no, I'm not in a suit and tie or hat like he was, and maybe that's why he was so much more popular than me, at least in that realm. So, one more showing, what is that, Marilyn Monroe? Mm-hmm. And I don't know, who's the other one? You know?
Sure.
Huh?
I'm not sure.
Okay, well, there you go. Showing off his success, as so many guys want to do. Marilyn Monroe there, and I'm not sure who the other one is, but there she is anyway. Badge of honor or something for our man there. He was known for an innovative style of gossipy news, jokes, and jazz age slang. It said he turned journalism into a form of entertainment, which of course it is today anyway. But that's a whole different kind of story for another show. Well, probably not on this show, but you know, it's pretty interesting. And he was known for trading gossip, sometimes in return for his silence, as he covered famous people in the entertainment world and the Prohibition era, underworld, law enforcement, and politics. His outspoken style made him both feared and admired. Winchell was born in New York City. His parents were Russian Jewish immigrants. His father was a cantor and salesman. Quite a combination. Walter left school in the 6th grade and started performing as a tap dancer in Gus Edwards' vaudeville troupe, which featured Eddie Cantor and George Jessel. Wow. He served in the U.S. Navy during World War I, and early in his career he was hired by the New York Daily Mirror, where he became the first syndicated gossip column entitled On Broadway. So Winchell in the 1930s became close friends with New York's #1 gang leader of the Prohibition era, Oney Madden. Oney Madden. And his friendship with Oney Madden with criminals caused him to fear that he would be murdered, so he fled to California and returned weeks later with a new enthusiasm for the law. His coverage of the Lindbergh kidnapping received national attention. Believe it or not, that was before my time. The thing I remember most about the news when I was a kid and special events was where that one child fell in a
hole.
wall, either a well or a hole or whatever.
Well, yeah.
But anyway, more about that another time. Winchell later became known for his attempts to destroy the careers of political and personal enemies as his own career progressed. And by the mid-1950s, he was widely seen as arrogant, cruel, and ruthless. So Winchell spent his final 2 years as a recluse at the Ambassador Hotel. Wow, so, like what's his name that was a recluse, that Howard Hughes, in a different hotel. But the Ambassador is no longer there, is it? No, Ambassador. I think that was that the one Centuries? I don't know. No, that was the one on. Isn't that where Kennedy was shot?
That's what I thought.
So I used to go to stereo and audio shows there as a kid, as well as a younger person. But now it has been leveled, and Larry King replaced Walter Winchell at the Miami Herald, and King said, "You know what Winchell was doing at the end? Typing out mimeographed sheets with his column and handing them out on the street." I don't know whether that's true or it ain't true, but anyway, that was what King said. And King now, too, is gone. So how about some honorable mentions before we leave this date? And how about Chuck Connors was born on April the 10th, 1921, and left us in 1992. And Chuck was an American actor, writer, and professional basketball, boy, he was tall, and baseball player, I think first base. Anyway, he was one of only 13 athletes in the history of American professional sports to have played in both the Major League Baseball and the National Basketball Association. He continued a 40-year film and television career, and best known for his 5-year role as Luke McCain in the series The Rifleman. Sing. And that's the only picture we have. And of course, you probably recognize him. And, there he is, the Rifleman, the kid that always did something that I wouldn't have done when I was watching. Anyway, there he be. And what you got there? Oh, the other great one. Well, we got a little bit of time here. Max von Sydow was born April the 10th, 1929, and left us in 2020. And Max was a Swedish-French actor. He had a 70-year career in European and American cinema, television, theater, and more than 150 films. He's known for many films like The Seventh Seal, The Immigrants, 3 Days of the Condor, Minority Report, and of course, Father Merrin in The Exorcist. There's one of the two most memorable scenes, I think, from The Seventh Seal, where he's playing chess with death, and ultimately he lost in here's the other famous scene I was talking about. This one. Both of these scenes could or could be recognizable. And didn't you have a poster? And here is a poster for the film. And a great film, of course. And here is the Seventh Seal. Well, this is a laser disc, but you can see it's kind of shaded over by the flap here, but you can see that's one of the two famous scenes, and on the back is the other most famous scene. So there you have it. Ingmar Bergman, one of his best, and Ingmar Bergman had lots of bests. And of course, we all, or I think we all know about this one. And we've brought this up several times with Linda Blair and her autograph and all of that good stuff. So there. Now, James Garner was born April 7th, 1928, and he earned his wings in 2014. And James was an American actor and producer. He starred in several television series over more than 7 decades, including the role of Brett Maverick in the 50s series. Maverick, and as Jim Redford in the 70s series on the Rockford Files. Now, there was, I don't know if you recall, but there was a brother on Maverick, and that was played by...
I'm looking it up.
I keep with it. Well, let's take a look at his picture first. And the brother was also in Forbidden Planet, mayor of Newport Beach, and when I was a bartender at the Hula.
Jack Kelly.
That's Jack Kelly. I got to know him a bit as I was bartender at a place he would go to every now and then, Harry's Bar and Grill, which no longer exists. And what a nice guy he was. Okay. So we've got also on April 8th, Twin Peaks created by David Lynch. And I don't really want to get into too much of that because we won't get through the end of it. And, I am scattered enough, and I don't want to scatter the audience with talking about too much else. But on this day in 1990, Twin Peaks was created by David Lynch and premiered on ABC. So we'll get into more of that next week because I really think that that's cool. Mm-hmm. And here, can you help pick that up? Mm-hmm. And go ahead and take the needle off the
I already did.
Oh, Twin Peakses. We'll go through this again.
Next time.
Yeah, next time. Eraserhead. Okay. And we just bought a new copy of this. This is the soundtrack, which is really cool. And I have that on my computer, too. And sometimes when I'm studying and doing work, I listen to it. It is so strange. I just bought a new copy on Criterion. Anyway, we are about ready to give way to Ron Siegel and my appearance with Ron while Ron and I speak about finance for oldies. So I hope you find that very, very interesting. I did, even though I was there. So please stay tuned for that. And until next week, I really appreciate you being here. Thank you, Sean, for your engineering feat and actually having enough patience to work with me. So for everyone else, remember that Kaplan will be here in front of the same cigar store on the corner next week. Keep yourself busy. Keep yourself safe and prosperous. Take care and thanks again. Bye-bye.